Hey everybody, Prepper for the Ages coming at you from my primary location. How are you doing tonight? Did you want to hear about the bees? Yes. A few days ago I had noticed that I had a bunch of bees, a beehive, up in the eaves of one of the corners of my primary location. So what I did was, I said to myself, I can take them, I can take them, I can take them. But watching the bees was more like watching, you know how people have those white beehives and the bees were, you would watch and the bees would go in and out and in and out, and that's what that's what it was like. So I said to myself, you know what, I've saved up some money. I can treat myself. I'll have the professionals come in and take out the hive. I'm like, okay, that's a good move. Okay, I'll just pay them some money and they come take care of the bees. Well, the guy came this morning. Good news, he showed up 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The window was 9 to 11, and he showed up 15 minutes ahead of schedule, which is a good thing, I guess. And so I showed him the bees, and I showed him where it was, and I pointed to it. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go off. I'm going to go off on an errand. I had to go to the post office for a second. So I took my dog, and I said, we're going. And he said, okay, this is really easy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pump all the powder into where the bee's nest is. Pump all the powder, and I'll seal it up the hole up with powder, so they're not going to be able to get in. They're all going to die. Okay, good. He said, and he says, when you come back, just don't go in the backyard for an hour or so, because you don't want to meet any stragglers. I'm like, okay, that's good. So me and my dog, we go off to the post office. I get to do the drive-through that has the mail slot. I do the drive-through with the mail slot. And on the way back, I get a phone call. He says, I have some news. Some bad news. I'm like, okay, bad news. He managed to, he was doing the job, because when I was driving away, he had little binoculars to look at that thing. He had managed to start the spraying with the long wandy powder, the one magic wand of powder. So he was spraying that, and I guess it broke. After he had begun. So it broke. It was, as he said, my equipment broke. I'm like, okay, your equipment, and his backup equipment evidently did not work. So he says, well, I'm going to have to come back tomorrow. And, I probably don't want to come back until later this afternoon. I was like, whoa, okay. I was like, is that bad, huh? He's like, yeah, is that bad? So basically, I guess he had just gone up and he sprayed just enough to piss him off really good. And that was it. He didn't have any defenses on. He didn't have a bee suit on. He didn't have gloves on. He didn't have any protective equipment on. He was like, yeah. When he began this, he was like, yeah, I've only gotten stung 3 times, and I've done this 200 times. Well, I should have let him know that I was a weirdness magnet. No fault of my own. And I can just imagine, I'm like, oh, I'm glad you lived. I'm glad you survived. He was like, thanks, I'll be back tomorrow. I'm like, okay. So he's going to be back tomorrow for round 2. And meanwhile, my dog and I waited a little while. We circled the neighborhood a couple times, and then we snuck in the front. And, everything was fine. We snuck in the front, but, you don't want to go out back. Yeah, they had some stuff to say about being evicted from their homes. Okay. All right. Well, I hope this amused you. For real. You're going to have to deal with this with no matter what home you get, no matter what bug out location you get. If the grid goes down, you're probably not going to get anybody to come and take out bees' nests for you. So I guess it's a question. I don't have an answer. It's a question. What you going to do? Okay. All right. I hope this evening finds you well. Prepper for the Ages signing out for now.